Hi guys, welcome to Money Kitchen Addiction. So guys, in today's video, I am going to be showing you all how I cook this delicious Nigeria stew. Assorted delicious Nigeria stew, okay? Please keep watching, alright? So, like I always do, I will be giving every details on how I cook this stew. Okay, and you see this black fish. This black fish, we from Edo, we love it so much, and the Deltas too. They love this fish. I think it originated from there, and if you don't know how to cook, you use it to cook anything. Trust me, it's going to come out nice. So I'm just going to show you guys how I use it to cook without breaking. As you can see, I added it same time I added all the meat, and it's still intact just like the fresh one. Okay, these are the things that I use to cook my assorted stew. I use roasted pomo. I use cow tripe. I use a body. It's also a cow tripe. I use ring, aka roundabout. And I use cow meat. I use goat meat. Don't forget it's assorted. And I also use chicken, okay, to make it tantalizing. I'm using tilapia fish. I'm going to fry it to be very dry. And I'm using mackerel fish, okay? And the fish I said before in Bavaria, I'm going to be showing you how to use it to cook without breaking. If you love this fish, this tips is for you. This is the tomatoes I will be using. If you have been watching my content right from day one, you will know that I don't parboil my tomatoes. I sieve it. So this is the product, and I sieve this overnight. I just put it on my sieve to stay there overnight, and it came out really dried just the way I want it. If you are using my recipe, I will advise you not to boil your tomatoes. Okay, let's keep washing. This is the product. You can use any product of your choice, and I did use the smooth one. I don't like the smooth tomatoes for stew. And this is the onions I will be using, and scotch bonnet. These are the spices that I will be using to cook the meat. Now the meat is already inside the pot, and I am going to pour in the ingredients and onions. Okay, there are some meat I haven't added. Please keep watching and see the reason. I'm going to be adding them later. Please, if you are using my recipe and you are using most of these ingredients, this is where you need to add water. Please use 1 or 2 cups of water to parboil your meat, because if you don't use water, it is going to come out smelly the spices. Okay, it happens. It is going to come out smelly the spices. I know you want to cook thick stew, but after boiling it, the ingredients have already soaked into the meat. You can remove the water and share it into 2. Use 1 part to cook the stew and keep 1 part. I sometimes frozen mine and I use it to cook whenever I want to cook without meat. Okay, so if you are using this recipe, do it like this, because when you use so much ingredients or spices, it come out, it will spoil the smell and the taste of the stew. That's just the truth. That's why I always use little teaspoon to pick my ingredients, so it won't be too much. Okay, please take note of that. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, ingredients do make food sweet, but when it's too much, it makes it awful. Now I've already started to mix and my meat is cooking. I'm going to fry and keep it aside. Okay, now place a dry pot on fire. Let it hot for like 3 seconds. Then pour in the oil you are using. I'm using sunflower oil. Okay, and if you are using this black fish, or you want to know how I do it that it didn't break, this is it. Leave the oil to hot for like 3 minutes. Let it be very hot. Okay, then gently place the rings fish inside the hot pan. Fry it like you are frying your fresh fish. Okay, so that's the tips. If you fry it this way, it's going to change the color of the oil. That's what is going to really bring out the smell of the fish, make your food smell, give your food the fish aroma. Yeah, this is the secret. So after frying, you fry it, you change the side, you fry it just like the way we fry normal fresh fish, then remove them. You can see the oil already changed, the color of the oil already changed. Yeah, now everywhere the aroma is smelling everywhere, smelling this fish, and the smell of this fish is so nice. I love this fish. I know a lot of people love it too. So after frying, pour in the sliced onions. I love to cut my onions in a round shape. I am going to fry my onions for just like 10 or 20 seconds. I don't like my onions to be over fried because it's still going to cook along with the tomatoes, the puree tomatoes and everything. So I just fry it a little, then I'm going to put in the puree tomatoes. This is the amount of puree tomato that I will be using, not too much. I don't like puree tomatoes too much. No, I don't like it so much, so I only add little. So keep cooking, guys. This stew really came out nice. Trust your girl. I can fail in anything but not in kitchen. No be say should bear. I owe my bragging rights, huh? I love cooking. So if you love my channel because of cooking, relax, more are coming. I am going to cover it to steam with the onions so it won't have that biting taste. Okay, so after that I stir, then gently pour in the tomatoes. As you can see, the tomatoes is not that smooth. Am I the only one that love to cook stew with not so smooth tomatoes? I took this from my mom. So guys, after pouring in the tomatoes, I'm going to stir, then cover to cook. Remember, I've not added the onions and the pepper. So after letting it to cook, I'll be stirring, opening and stirring it sinks. So now I'm going to pour in the pepper. Remember, Scotch bonnet also contributes in making your stew come out sweet. So I don't want it to overcook with the tomatoes. So after cooking the tomatoes, remember I didn't boil it. Now I'm going to pour in the onions and the Scotch bonnet. Then I'm going to stir and cover to cook. My friend drew my attention to this. Please take note of this. As you can see, you're not seeing oil. It's like oilless, but no. Okay? The more it cook, the more the oil steam out. Okay? So my friend be like, adding more oil since you are going to put it on a public platform so it will come out beautiful. Darlings, it is not oil, the amount of oil that make your stew come out beautiful. No, it is how you cook it, the product of tomatoes that you use, etc. Okay, so I'm going to cover it to steam. The more it cooks, the more you see the oil. You see the oil is already coming up. For me, I don't like too many oil in my stew, so I am cooking it just the way I eat it at home. Okay, nobody pay me to cook this. So I'm cooking it on my own. If you love to cook it with plenty oil, why not? You go on. So the tomatoes is not fully done, but almost. Now I am going to pour in the ingredients. As you can see, that's paprika, pepper. It also contributes to what make it come out really red. So while the tomatoes is cooking, I want to gently place in the ring. I don't want it to be too soft. So it is now I am going to put in the ring. I'm going to stir it and cover it to cook. You know, this ring cook very fast. so I don't want it to be overdone. So that's why I am putting it in now. It's still remaining 1 minute. Who can guess? Who can guess? So let's keep cooking, darling. Now I am going to add in stock cube. Okay, the amount of stock cube you add determine the amount of tomatoes you cook. Like for me, I cook 7 cups of these tomatoes. That's a lot, so do the math. So I'm going to stir. Then what's next? The stock water. As you can see, I share the stock water into two. I'm using 1 part to cook my stew. So if you want it to be very thick, you can share it into 3, depending on how thick you want it to come out to look. This is how I want mine. Okay, so guys, you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. Thank you so much. Now I am going to cover it to cook. After letting it to cook for some minutes, I am going to pour in the roasted pomo. I love it crunchy, so that's why I am adding it at this time. I want it to cook with the stew, so the stock cube, the spices, we go inside. I don't know how to say it. So that's it, guys. I'm going to cover it now to cook on a very low heat because I hate my stew to get burnt. Now, as you can see, the oil is coming up, meaning my stew is almost getting ready. So now I'm going to pour in the meat, everything. I'm going to pour in the meat. I'm going to add in the fish. You see, I am adding the fish same time that I added the meat. I am going to stir it very well. I want this meat to soak inside the stew. After stirring, I'm going to add in the tilapia fish and the black fish. That's the highlight of this stew. If you want to recook this stew, you were able to get this black fish. I'm gonna use it to cook. If you use this black fish to cook ogbono soup, because I cook ogbono soup, I cook what's it called, spinach soup. My dear, I use it all because they newly brought it to me from Nigeria. So I'm adding the head of tilapia because the other side I was cooking and I was making my hair. Me and my hairdresser, we use it to flex. Yes, come and beat me. I love to eat while cooking. If you know me, I always say this. That's why I don't like baking. You will just wait for it to be fully done before you eat something. I think that's bad habit, right? So now I'm going to lower it, cover it. I'm cooking on number 1 of my gas, or 1. So I'm going to cover it to just let it cook, all this meat to soak inside. So I will be coming from time to time to check. I'm going to keep this like 25 minutes. I was cooking and I just covered it and I went to go. I was making my hair also. I hope this recipe came out really well for you. I hope you do it just like I did mine. I am explaining, not that you don't know how to cook, just that you just want to try my recipe. Remember, food is art and everybody cook amazing way and differently. Okay? And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe. And if you haven't followed me on Facebook, what are you waiting for? I go live every blessed day there, like mad. Trust me, it's fun there. Follow my Facebook page, most especially if you are single. If you are single and ready to mingle, hook up, always go down there. Follow me there. Let's mingle. Yeah, no, not me go with me. So it's a hookup page and it's going really well. So this is my stew. It's still cooking. Yeah, like I said, I'm coming from time to time to check. This is my assorted delicious rich stew. Yeah, I call it rich stew. This is Gucci. I've been at Versace. Anyone where you like, call lamb. This really came out really well. Hey, I forgot to say season greeting to you all. Oh, compliment of the season. Oh, thank you for being here with me. So, my stew is ready. Thank you guys for watching. Hey, please like, oh, share, oh, and also subscribe. You see my fish, no one break now. So that's how I use this blackfish to cook. I am explaining more about this blackfish because a lot of people, they don't like to use it to cook. They be like, oh, it break, you won't see it to eat, blah blah blah. You understand? So this is how I use it to cook my stew, and it's really working well for me. And I'm going to tie all this stew in a liner. You remember the way I tie my soup and everything? So that's how I'm going to do with this stew. You see, my fish is not going to break. No way. So that's it. This is my delicious Nigeria assorted stew. Thank you for watching. Okay. And I'm going to be showing you guys what I cooked today. I cooked this up. Before I cook this stew, I already cooked ogbono soup, and I already cooked spinach soup. And I also, you see the way I tied my soup, this is how I do it. Whether Christmas or no Christmas, so that's the way I do it. You see my delicious jollof rice. No celebration without jollof rice, so, and I don't love to eat. Thank you for watching.